stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Sloan Strickland.
And welcome aboard. Here it is Maclay Football live from Franshaw Field, of course, presented by the Four Quarters Online Media Network. And Jupe alongside Trenton Young bringing you the action here tonight. Of course, missing our boys Mark Adams and Coach Johnny Cofield with some family and medical things going on. So, of course, wishing Coach well, and he's in our thoughts and prayers tonight as it's tough to have a Friday without the coach here, Trenton Young, but we've got a fantastic showcase here for you tonight that will be a whole lot of fun. It's Maclay Marauders and the FAMU DRS Baby Rattlers, as you can see here before you. A divisional district showcase here tonight. Of course, Baby Rattlers trying to get their first dub of the season here. This is a dangerous squad. Don't sleep on the man with the orange lids and the white uniforms out here tonight. They got a dangerous junior quarterback, Isaiah Butler, a beast in the backfield, Cameron McMillan. Trent, a district showcase here in a little bit of a small bowl here for the Four Quarters Online presentation of the Maclay Game of the Week. What'd you think?
I mean, last week he had over 5 yards a carry, averaging over 5 on the season as well. So a big part of that offense. They'll look to get him going very early tonight, Jupe.
Absolutely. So here's Adrian Telford. He'll be playing a little defensive line, little tight end, little kicker as well. He's going to get us going. Is the junior liftoff as DRS will kick to the Marauders. It's going to be caught by the up man here, the right-hand side. That, of course, is Tucker Popple, the young sophomore, to get us rolling, and Maclay will take over first on offense here. Friday night under the lights was supposed to happen a little bit ago, a couple reschedules, and now we're back at it, of course. Everybody suffering still from the impacts of Hurricane Helene, also in our thoughts and prayers here tonight, but it's good to get back to a little bit of normalcy with some Friday night football here, Trent.
Yeah, absolutely, Jupe. These boys have been waiting to get going with this game here for pushing 2 weeks now, so we'll see what Maclay can do. Big win the last time they were here against Valwood, 19-20. Came right down to the wire.
Oh, yeah, stellar season going here from Maclay, 3-1, just a lone loss to Mariana. There's going to be a tough nut to crack here as Nash Bashir is going to be swung out of the backfield. Slips through the first tackle, and he's still rolling over midfield, inside the 40, inside the 30. He's got one man to beat, is Trustin Walker, but they're able to track him down. A enormous gain here from Maclay. About a 67-yard pickup, the old swing pass to Nash Bashir's. And just like that, the Marauders here in scoring position, first down and goal.
Heck of a first play of the game. What a tone setter that was.
Absolutely, of course. Bashir's the leading receiver coming into this contest with 341 and 4 touchdowns. Give to Bashir's. He's in the backfield now, and he's going to surge over and get the touchdown just 38 seconds into this contest. Maclay here with the 6-0 advantage.
The old tried and true bread and butter Nass Bashir's out the backfield, and then just give it to him right up the gut, a couple more yards, let him finish it off.
Absolutely. So Bashir's here from about 2 yards out. Of course, Wyatt Long here to attempt the extra point. Successful conversion. He's coming in with a clip of over 80% on kicks here this season. So up and good. A very quick score here in quarter number 1. Like we said, Trent took us 38 seconds to get in for 6 and then would be 7 here as the Marauders take the advantage.
That's about as good as you can draw it up on the first drive, Jupe. I mean, you know what play you're going to run off rip. They've been working on that in practice all week, and get 67 off that. I mean, everybody's feeling great after that. So now we'll see if this Marauder defense can step up and bail out that offense and keep them on the bench, let them catch their breaths real quick. Or at least Nash, he was the one that did all the running on that one.
Absolutely. So, of course, 2 plays, 2 Bashir's touches, 6 points here for the Marauders. Believe that's the 6th touchdown of the year here for Bashir. So DRS going to be back on the receiving end here. Chance to bring out the offense. Of course, this is a young team here in Coach Wise's first year at the helm for the Baby Rattlers. Talented team. And we're hoping that we get to showcase some of that talent here tonight. They've got some explosive skill players. And like I said, I like the quarterback here. Junior Isaiah Butler can sling it, Trent. So don't sleep on him just because of coming in here at 0-5. This is a big district contest here in Class 1A, District 1.
When we were watching him in warm-ups, and he sure can sling it, Jupe. We saw a couple new wrinkles it seems like they might implement tonight in the offense. So we'll have to keep our eyes open for that. But I mean, that's just one possession. We got a long, long ways to go, Jupe.
Absolutely. Who else do you like on this offense here for the Baby Rattlers, Trent? Anybody sticks out to you?
McMillan, obviously we talked about him.
Yeah,
and then last week, Zamir Neely-Johnson plays a lot of DB. Was a wideout last week, had 3 catches, had a big one for a 64-yard touchdown.
So here's the give. McMillan wearing number 3. Off tackle, explosiveness for him, and he surges forward. And as advertised, Cameron McMillan, just a sophomore here, coming into this matchup with 51 carries on the year, according to Max Preps, and big one there, rips off about 14. And like we talked about, Trent, so that's the beauty here of the district contest. You got 3 district games, so regardless of what the first half of the season has been coming down the stretch, if you can pick up a win in district play, you change the whole landscape of the season. So Maclay's going to have to be on it here. A little wildcat look as McMillan wants to come out of there high. Snap is going to bounce back at the 25-yard line. He's going to pick it up, just go north-south, try to save some yards, which he does. But still, it's going to be a loss of about 7 or 8 on the high snap. So 2nd down and long coming here for the Big Rattlers.
Good effort from McMillan, like you said, getting north real quick. Because I mean, that ball's about 15, 20 yards past him, so that was tough. But
yeah, he's going to be a fun player to watch here, not only this season, but then you fast forward a couple years here in the Big Bend. You're always looking for these kind of young gems, and nobody's talking much about some of these ballers here on DRS, but you like Tilford out here on the perimeter too. Number 9 does this want to give to McMillan. Surging forward, great tackle there by 2 Maclay Marauders. BB Potter surging in there. Of course, starting the show for the Marauders. Big week last week for BB, Trent.
14 tackles. Yeah, the other team was not excited to see him coming. They had that good running back. His name eludes me, forgive me, but he was running rampant, but BB Potter sure had his number with those 14 tackles.
Absolutely, and I say last week, a couple weeks ago here now, last game for Maclay, so my mistake. That's not going to be the first time I'm going to be doing that as we dip below 9.5 to play here in the opening quarter. So 3rd down and 25 for the Rattlers. Quick hitter out to the perimeter. It's going to be an incomplete pass over on the far side. Looks like they were trying to hit Jamin Bryant over on the far side. Leading receiver coming into this matchup. When he gets a rock, Trent, averaging about 12 yards a catch. Of course, not as big as a downfield guy as Neely Johnson when you look at the stat sheet and what we've seen so far this season, but resourceful receiver. So to bring up 4th down here for the Baby Rattlers, going to bring the junior Tilford out to punt. And it's going to be Nash Bashir as the dangerous man who we've already seen do some damage for Maclay. Nice big right foot here for Tilford. It's going to bounce at the 36, take a couple Baby Rattlers bounces towards the middle of the field, and be scooped up at the 27 there by Charles Williams, one of the captains here, senior for the Baby Rattlers. And Maclay, offensive possession number 2 on the deck.
Think they'll keep it on the ground a little bit more in this possession? Take some air out of the ball, or what do you think here? I mean, go back to the air?
That's not really Maclay's style to be toting the rock here, Trent.
It's not. They're an air raid offense.
You know, when you think about it, this is a team outside of George Grant, averaging between 70, 80 yards rushing per game, so they like to sling it. It's going to be a handoff here to Thomas. 1 foot, puts it in the ground, heads northward. Good pickup there for Thomas, getting about 5. Surge forward for a nice and manageable 2nd down. Big to get some yards on those early downs, Trent.
Yeah, absolutely, Jupe. You don't want to get yourself into a 2nd and long, 3rd and long here.
Sets up 4 wide receiver look. Thomas sidecar right at Grant. Grant bootleg, throws out to the right. There's the big tight end, Podgorski. And reception for him. Just the 9th reception of the season here, Trent. Was getting a little more involved last year, but I think his explosive season a year ago has lent himself to a lot more coverage this time around here in 2024.
Starting to get going a little more in recent weeks, though.
There you go. 1st down toss in the area of Blake Brannon, but it'll be incomplete. 2nd down and long here for the Marauders. Yeah, like you said, so 8 receptions on the year. I believe 4 of them came in that last matchup. The big one that you referenced against Valwood from north of the border. Of course, Valwood coming from just outside that Valdosta area. A little bit of a closer opponent here from DRS, coming from the south side here. About 20 minutes away, depending on traffic. Slings it inside arm. Looking for Nash Bashir's good break up here near side by Jamin Bryant. And to bring up 3rd down and long. Of course, that would have been Bashir's 3rd touch of the game had he got it already in the early going.
On what, 5 offensive plays?
Yep. He is a volume receiver, that's for sure. 4 wide, Hugh, Thomas, sidecar left to Grant. They break pressure. Grant's going to step up, slings it, able to hit, looks like Bashir's with an opening inside the 40. Ushered out of bounds, and they'll mark him. It looks like about the 34-yard line, which is enough for a Maclay Marauder 1st down. So it just looks like number 7. Give it to him. Let him take care of the rest.
Bashir showcase this week.
There you go.
At least so far.
He must have told George, he's like, hey, George, I'm trying to send out some film tape this week to some colleges. Let me get some looks here. Great rush there by Thomas. Rips off about 12. Coming out of the backfield there for the Maclay Marauders. They say leading rusher, I believe, coming into this one was Thomas. You think about Potter, number 8, he's more their short yardage guy, kind of that fullback role, as it were. Grant trying to break the pressure. He'll step up. Tilford will trip him up along with some help from the Baby Rattlers. Nice little 3-yard pickup, something out of nothing there for George Grant. Bring up 2nd down and about 7 here for the Marauders.
Saw him do that for 98 last week, 2 weeks ago, didn't we, Jupe?
Yep.
Absolutely nothing, and it's 98 yards of the house.
Dangerous. And then here's Bashir's back in the backfield, a little read option. They'll go with quarterback keeper here for Grant. He's going to dive inside the 10, inside the 5 for another 1st and goal here from Maclay, their 2nd in as many possessions. Of course, still 7:18 here left on the clock in quarter number 1. Max protect, look, here's some pressure from DRS. Throw is low. Did he get under it? He did. It's Blake Brannon on the touchdown reception. I believe it's his 3rd of the year. So not even 5 minutes into quarter number 1. And Maclay with a 2-score advantage, 13-0 now after the 4-yard reception here from Brannon. So extra point, here's Long to blast it through. It is up and good. So Long is 2 for 2 here on the evening, and I'll make it a clean 14-0 here from Frank Shaw Field. And so, of course, the week off doesn't seem to have impacted the Marauders much. What'd you think, Trent?
Not picking up right where they left off, Jude. We saw them kind of get a little tired, a little injury and fatigue kind of played into the game, and Valwood down the stretch let them come back in the second half. They were able to hold up and stop the bleeding enough to hold on, got that big extra point blocked to get the 19-20 win. That was huge, but yeah, I mean, you can tell these guys were hungry over the last couple of weeks. They were ticked that Hurricane came through. They wanted to play this game. That, you know, you flip the script, look over on the other side of the ball. You got DRS over here. They're a young team, Jupe. You know, 1st-year head coach, only 23 players on the roster. So a lot of these guys we're seeing are playing both sides of the ball. And, you know, you can't even imagine how difficult that is, even at this level.
There you go. So Long looking to give back to the Baby Rattlers, looking for possession number 2. Nice little high point there from Bryant, their leading receiver. Wants a big return, slips out of the first tackle, second one over the 30.
He's still going.
And he gets out to about the 32-yard line. Good return there for DRS. Gang tackle, B.B. Potter in the mix on the bring down. Rollins Miller, the senior linebacker, also involved. And it looked like Davis Malone. It's a senior showcase there at the bottom of the pile there for the special teams unit for the Maclay Marauders.
So your DRS, you're down 14-0 here early in the game. You keep it on the ground with your boy McMillan. You open it up a little bit. Try to get Mr. Butler going.
You got to feed the beast.
Well, not on this play, at least.
Oh, a little heavy back set here. 3 tailbacks in the backfield. Try to get McMillan stretched out. Great tackle. Here as they're able to stretch this one out. Tucker Popple in the mix, as well as Adam Bailey. 5'10" senior involved as well. And that's what we've seen with the new defensive formation. That was kind of the question mark coming into the season here for the Marauders. How do these middle linebackers attack and go downfield? In the last couple games, they've really been coming into their own. When you think about Potter, you think about Miller, and then, of course, also Bailey, who just got into the mix there as well. Little wildcat look as McMillan is going to take it direct. Tough snap here for DRS. Fumble back at the 20-yard line, and Maclay's on top of it. And the Marauders will take over. Rollins Miller with the fumble recovery here at almost exactly the halfway mark with 5:59 to go here in quarter number 1. All right, so it looks like we're going to take a little water break. So while we have the opportunity, get to some of these sponsorships here. Trent, what you think?
Might as well, Jude. Now is a perfect time.
Absolutely. So we're going to start with our 2024 top Marauder sponsors here, of course. Couldn't make the production out here tonight happen without these sponsors here for the Maclay Marauders football program. Centria Insurance, Benner's Contracting, Dermatology Associates of Tallahassee, Hangar 38, Let the Good Times Roll, the family of Henry Richardson, Home Instead, to us, it's personal, the Honey Lake Clinic, Prime Meridian Bank, Rugs.com, and Steve Brown Direct Marketing. Of course, a couple others here that we'll get to for the top Marauder sponsorship, but we're back in action. The game waits for no man. Pitch on out to Hugh Thomas here on first down. Tries to cut back against the grain, goes north-south. Enough for a first down and then some. And this is the best start to the show here that Thomas has seen here this season. Getting some good running lanes from that offensive line. Able to surge forward. Pick up some good yardage. Grant's going to hang in the pocket, but now he's going to be flushed out. Steps up. Surging toward the goal line. Able to get in on the QB keeper. There is Grant. And it looks like from about 7 yards out, George Grant on the QB keeper.
Zal Maclay early tonight. I mean, you look at DRS and really the tale of the game so far for them has just been some tough snaps that they haven't been able to corral in the backfield, and obviously a big turnover here on this last possession for them, leading to some almost instantaneous points for this Marauder offense.
Long on to give the extra point once again. It is up, and it is good. So 3 clean scores with the extra point as well. So Grant on the QB keeper. Not as many on the ground this year as last year, just his 4th rushing touchdown. And I say that kind of backhandedly, but 4 rushing touchdowns for a quarterback usually
pretty good season.
Gets it going,
Yeah.
Dave Trent, yeah. So touchdowns by Bashirs, Brannon, and Grant. And when you look at it, Trent, that's kind of the big 3 for the Maclay offense so far as of this season. So pretty on brand here for the Marauders thus far.
We just got to get B.B. Potter to get in the end zone at this point.
There you go.
Podgorski. Might see a little Podgorski later in the game.
There you go. And so per Max Preps, Thomas coming into this match with 48 rushing yards. So he is well on his way to double his season output here tonight. As this one's going to be returned the far side by Bryant, who's looked explosive on kick returns. Get that one all the way out to the 30 after letting it bounce. And DRS offense going to come out once again.
And only a limited amount of plays offensively for the Baby Rattlers, but we've seen him look Bryant's way, and I'm sure that'll continue here as the game goes on. As you said, those last 2 kick returns have been pretty explosive. Able to get it up around the 30, 35.
There you go. 3rd offensive possession here coming for DRS. Maclay comes back out with the defense. Of course, you get the big 3 linemen up there. Ryder Marks, Abraham Wildrick, and then I believe 65, Nick Streety, the junior middle anchor there. So heavy back set. Looks like a little more flex bone look here as McMillan going to rush up the middle. Maclay up to the task. Looks like a loss of 1 surging through the line. B.B. Potter, Ryder Marks in on the action there for the Marauders. And so we talked about that defensive line eating up these blockers here, that front 3. And then those 3 linebackers able to surge through. Potter once again in on the scene.
Think he can top the 14 tackles he got last week?
We'll see. Setting a great pace so far here tonight.
Absolutely.
As we're still in the first quarter here. 4:50 to go in the opening frame here tonight. Coming about in the end around for the Baby Rattlers. Read well here by the Marauders. Rollins Miller with the bring down. Of course, the 5'10" senior linebacker able to make the drop, and it'll be a 3rd down and long. Another small loss of about 1 yard, so it's about 3rd, soft 13 maybe. Strong 12 here to go for the Baby Rattlers. a little switch of personnel. Oh, so I thought there from Maclay, but not the case on the line. It's just Ryder Marks, number 55, standing a little extra tall here with the pink sleeve going here on our near side. And looks like a pre-snap penalty here coming on the motion. Oh, looks like Coach Wise wants to take a quick TO, talk to the gang. It's going to be the first, there we go, first charge timeout. If you can hear the PA announcer here so far. Usually you only get 3 per half.
Usually. We've seen some crazy stuff, though, haven't we?
Yep, here 3:54 to go in the opening quarter. Let's go around the bend, Trent. What you think?
Why not?
So I heard Wakulla got an opening score off a bad snap of a punt from JP2, so they're up 7-0 at this time period. And then over down at Gene Cox Stadium.
The big one.
The big one is right. Gadsden County up 9-0 over the Lincoln Trojans, who are currently undefeated.
You think that's all field goals?
No, I think they got a touchdown and a safety. It was 6, and then I think they got a field goal with that as well. So I think it's 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. We'll see if we can't get some clarification going here. But back from Frank Shaw Field. 3rd down and long for the Baby Rattlers. Here comes Butler. Defensive pressure there from Marks. He's able to make the first guy miss. Trying to clean it up, and he is dropped for a big loss on the sack. Relentless pursuit here from the Marauders. Really well done.
Multiple waves there defensively to get after him.
Bailey was in there. Manny Arizo, I think, at the bottom of the pile. There on the defensive line here for the passing down situation. And he's been coming on strong as of late, has Arizo. Finished the season really well last year. Echoing that here in the 2024 campaign. So be 4th down and long here for DRS, and they'll look to punt it away with Tilford. And once again, the dangerous Nash Bashirs to receive. Short punt, bounce on the 30, and we'll take a Maclay bounce. So it's on their side of the marker here, 30 yards here from the end zone. More scores from around the bend here. Head north of the border, Syrup Makers up by 7 over Leon. A lot of our teams out west, so they're starting a little later. We'll try to keep you updated as things become clear to us. Maclay back on offense. Grant wants to go deep. Big shot of the far side. There's the big tight end. Just out of stretch. Almost the 10th reception of the year, but it falls incomplete here with 2:49 to go in quarter number 1.
That's a good look, man. He got the mismatch. Even had a second defender in the area, but he's just so much taller than everyone else at 6'6".
And that's a dangerous little corner route, especially when you throw him in the slot here with Brandon coming on the cross. That's something I could see them going back to, if not tonight, then later this season. Little end-around jet sweep, a little touch handoff pass, and Bashirs does the rest, rips off about 16 or 17. Late flag coming in over there on the far side. It's usually when it's down at the end, some face mask, we'll see. Oh, offensive holding. So it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the infraction. This one's going to come back. Great seal, I was going to say, on the end of that line there. Looked like Arizo and Nicky Fiore over on that right-hand side of that line, kind of paving the way.
You know Nash is going to be ticked about that because that was a touch pass. That was a reception.
True. He's creeping up on 35 for the season. Feels like he gets some more looks than about 7 or 8 per game, though. He's coming in just over 8 receptions per game for this one. And while we have the chance to get some more of our top Marauder sponsorships here, of course, Tallahassee Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, specializing in adult and pediatric allergic disorders. And the Pod, another top Marauder sponsor, as well as Tallahassee Medical Group, Doctors Cody and Hugh Van Lanningham. Ultimate Fencing. And then we'll get into our Shield sponsors, the Southern Group, 2024 Shield sponsors here from Maclay Marauders. For the Table, Hospitality, Lloyd Roofing, Roofing Done Right, Merrill Lynch, Mike Robinson, and Mount Pleasant Lodge in North Florida Highlands. Back at it here for Maclay. Second down to go here for the Marauders. Grant stepping up, wants to go deep. He's got Richardson in the end zone. Oh, a little toe drag at the back, and they're in for 6. Here's Richardson able to get in, number 14, the big play sophomore, in for 6, and Maclay makes it 27.
Yeah, great route there, was open, and just had to see, just needed Grant to see him, and he did. And you know, we know George Grant's not afraid to throw the ball, Andrew Jupe, and he sure put it on the money. Nice little toe tap, and we've got a flag, and I think that's coming back, buddy.
Oh. Chop block, so our mistake was just about to dish it up for Richardson, but that is the Richardson special. You talk about Bashir's getting a lot of work here short in the middle of the field, and Brandon kind of on that perimeter. Richardson is the home run hitter of the offense, so if you're going downtown, oftentimes it does go through number 14 here for Maclay. So they're going to back this one way up from the spot of the foul, so it's going to be a very long second down conversion upcoming for the Marauders, and so Coach Cawley wants to take a quick TO, and I think deservedly so, Trent.
Yeah, you kind of got to regroup after that. That's tough. You got a big play for a touchdown, and then you're back about 10 yards after that from the original spot. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and just take a timeout, regroup, reset. Coach Colley's going to go out there, figure out what the refs are seeing, make sure that he's on the same page with them. Nice veteran move from him.
There you go. And sometimes, Trent, you get the old, I like to call it a COTO, the chew-out timeout, where coach just wants a little speak of his mind, and then just needs himself about 30 seconds with an exclusive conversation.
So maybe he's the one that needed to regroup. Okay.
You see it. You see it out there sometimes. Second down and 20 coming from the Marauders. As checking in on these scores, getting an update down from the south side. Lincoln answers back, 9-7 down in the big one. George Grant got to step up. He wants Richardson again. Oh, this time he's on the hash marks, but he's still in for 6. So a little bit of a delay, and it allows Richardson to pad the stats, Trent. This one is about 10 yards longer than the previous 40-yard score for the sophomore.
I don't think he'll have any complaints about that at all.
There
Coach Colley took that timeout, let him catch his breath. Go
Hey.
run that same route.
Hey, go get some, Henry. Go on now. Here comes White Long in for extra point number 4. Up and good. So a clean 28 here for Maclay. Still in quarter number 1. We're 9 minutes and 38 seconds into this contest. Still 2:22 left in quarter number 1. All Marauders here early. 40-yard touchdown reception, the latest addition for the boys in blue. Wearing the navy blue out here tonight, Trent. Typically we see the babies, the baby blue, on the Friday night. You feeling the navy?
I am. I think they are too. I mean, we've got the baby blue on the helmet. I think that's all they need.
There you go.
Might have to roll with all navies the rest of the season to keep this up.
Especially those district games. You think about it. Next couple weeks coming up. NFC, the big one.
The big one.
Gonna head over to the Eagles' Nest, and then 2 weeks after that at St. John Paul II for the District 1 1A finale. So, of course, that's the winner. 3 head-to-head games between all of these teams as they go through the round robin. It was 2 separate districts last year, but of course they've merged on over into the one district here in 1A here for District 1. And as you know here, North Florida runs those lower classifications here, Trent. 2A, 1A, rural. Big Bend does some damage.
DRS won a state championship back in 2006, so lest we forget.
Not too long ago, absolutely. Back in the day, they were calling them the 1B classification, which equated out to modern day would fall under your rural category. So, of course, conversation for another day when we talk about the
That's not even
annual reclassification.
annual.
As we have some play action here, Butler off his back foot. Looking there for Bryant. Good rush there. Looks like Tucker Popple getting into the backfield here for the Marauders. Talk about the sophomore Richardson. How about sophomore Popple?
He's had a big season so far on both sides of the ball.
Really emerged down the stretch in that freshman year. Really helped Maclay as far as wear and tear on George Grant. Of course, allowing Grant mainly to stay to the offensive end because Grant was going the vast majority of snaps both ways last year. But the emergence of Popple really allowed him to concentrate more on the offensive side because he was doing a lot more running from the quarterback position last year as well. Cawley's been trying to keep him a little more upright here in the pocket this season, and so far it's been working out. Be a handoff right down Main Street, though. It gets bounced outside. Good pursuit by Bailey. And it looks like with the bring downs, Abram Wildrick, the junior, with the bring down. So a couple yard loss, set up a 3rd down and long here for the Rattlers. To have a little substitution package here. Looks like they want to get in some wideouts. Of course, Maclay's going to keep it the same here. See if this back end gets tested, which hasn't seen a lot of action. You look at Bo Bashirs here, number 10, another sophomore. A lot of big sophomores in this defense. Davis Malone, number 6, playing center field here. Handoff, and that's McMillan. Got a little real estate. If he can get the edge, he'll have enough for the 1st down. So big pickup of about 15. Deceptive play call there for DRS, and it works out.
Yeah, they sub in all these wide receivers just to run the ball. A little trickeration there.
Whoops.
First down of the game for DRS. That's one way to do it. Give it to your boy McMillan.
Good pickup by them. Get the ball out to the 31-yard line. Here towards that left hash. Still look to reset. Stoppage. It's weird. Having an official's timeout, maybe with the yardage markers, it looks like, to kind of get those organized. I don't know if you remember, Trent. Remember a couple weeks ago?
How could I forget?
One of those got bent up real good.
Snapped.
Was that Grant on the sprawling effort that bent that one up pretty good?
It was him or Bashirs. It was somebody that is always got the ball, and they just found their way directly to the 1st down marker and snap. Well, they bent it up real good. I think they ended up snapping it in 2 just so that they could continue to hold it upright the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was a sprawling effort. They were diving for the 1st down sticks, and the back plate of the pads and the lower back landed directly on the pole, and it was an awkward, like 55-degree angle bend there that they were working with for the 1st down marker. Though it looks like they got it straightened out or got a new pole. Either way, slung in. Bryant looking for Zamar Neely Johnson. And he'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Rattlers. skip under a minute to play here after that incomplete pass. They go 4 wide receiver look here for DRS. Keep the 5 linemen. Hand off to McMillan. Finds a little crease. Gets over the 35 to about the 37. So be a manageable 3rd down conversion.
And you see the burst right there from McMillan. I mean, he put his foot in the dirt, planted, and he was off. I mean, what a burst there. Able to get 4 or 5 out of nothing, really.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just when you think you got the Rattlers figured out, they throw a little off speed at you. They're going to go 4 wide receiver look again. Nice pull there by the offensive line. McMillan surging forward. And they're going to give him the 42, which should be enough to move the chains here for DRS. So starting to get some momentum here as we're coming up on the close of the opening quarter. Do not have to run a play on this side of the break if they do not want to. And it looks like the visitors are in no rush to do so.
And they shouldn't be. This has been a good possession for them so far, able to get their first 2 first downs of the night. Take that momentum into the break, catch your breath. Like we said, a lot of these guys playing both sides of the ball for DRS tonight.
Gonna play the long game, you know.
It's a chess match.
So flip sides of the field. And so while we have the pause of the action, let's give a shout out to some of the boys going here. Of course, the lineup here for the Marauders. You can see the seniors there in the baby blue. George Grant, number 3. Number 4, Rollins Miller. Number 5, Keller Bridges. Number 6, Davis Malone. Number 7, Nash Bashirs. B.B. Potter. Number 8, Andrew Lunt. Hunter Smith. Number 12, Hugh Thomas. Number 21, Zeke Podgorski. 22, Adam Bailey. Number 50, Andrew Berenson. 51, Ryder Marks. 55, Kareem Dawood. 59. You can see some of the underclassmen and the rest of the gang out there for you tonight. So 25% of the way through. 12 down, 36 to go here for our regularly scheduled programming. Tonight, Trent on the game clock, 8:09 Eastern time. Some of these late games are starting to kick off. A little 7:30 kick. Been a while since we've seen that up here on the north side. So 30 minutes a quarter. On pace for here-ish.
You think Maclay's going to keep up this 28 points a quarter score streak they got going?
We'll see. That'd be quite the wild ride. Be on pace for 112 if they do so.
Is that a school record?
Been a while since I've seen triple digits on the high school level here, Trent. TBD. I think Rattlers have a lot to say about that. McMillan going to go Wildcat right down Main Street. Spins out of it, picks up about 9 on the carry. And I think that's a little bit of a new look here for DRS.
That was that wrinkle that we were alluding to that we saw in the pregame warm-ups. Pretty good pickup for first down.
Absolutely. Got a little surge there. So you have a late word from Coach Cawley. Some equipment change. He'll get out there and help the cause. As going over Davis Malone. Had a little switch up going there. Davis Malone ready for some fall football. He's got the hood on here, Trent. Number 6 in blue. Direct snap to McMillan. Surge forward. That'll be enough for him to move the chains. Nice trip up there. B.B. Potter able to get down by the cleats to scoop him up.
3 consecutive first downs here.
Yeah, starting to get a little momentum.
Other side of the half.
And that's what Coach down here on the sideline is. He might have been able to pick it up. Getting excited, trying to get the boys juiced up a little bit. That's the thing, Trent. Once you get a little momentum going here in high school ball, it's like a avalanche. Good things lead to good things, and ultimately tough things lead to tough things. What a tackle in open space there. Fantastically done by B.B. Potter, the former Childs man. Able to rip down McMillan, open space. If he doesn't get him, that's a real big one, Trent.
Absolutely, Jupe. Almost kind of like he was playing a quarterback spy, like a wildcat spy. He's just, wherever McMillan goes is where Potter's going. And, I mean, if you're the Maclay Marauders, that's a great game plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like a one-on-one duel here. Potter's having a fantastic mid-season as he's definitely getting comfortable here in his Marauder shoes for 2024. So second down and long. Looks like a hard 9, soft 10 here yardage-wise. Shotgun snap here for Bryan. He'll bootleg right. Pursuit coming from that left side. Great rush there by Ryder Marks, really forcing the issue on that left-hand side here for the Marauder defense. Set him up with a third down and long to go. So third down and long here to go for Maclay. Second quarter action here from Frank Shaw Field. 9:38 to go. 28-0 advantage here for the Marauders. Shotgun look coming here for DRS. Sidecar left is McMillan. Bryant wants to go deep. He's looking for Zamir Johnson, or Neely Johnson, excuse me. And a bring up a fourth down after the incomplete pass. So be DRS off the punt here as Tilford will get ready to blast it away. It looks like Maclay's not buying it, though. They're staying in their defensive formation. Bashir's in his normal quarterback duties. Looks like they're feeling the fake here. Off to rocket it away, and nobody back to receive here from Maclay. It's going to go all the way. Beautiful punt by Tilford. It's going to be picked up at the 1-yard line.
And that's how you draw it up, right, Jupe?
There you go. And so Maclay going to be pinned deep back in their own end. Here's they'll take over for offensive possession number 5.
2 weeks ago against Valwood, we saw a very similar predicament here for this Marauder offense.
What was the play call then, Trent?
I don't know what the call was, but I know Mr. Grant kept it and just ran the whole 98 yards himself.
Made it easy. We'll see if he can go 99. Here's they'll spread it on out. Thomas sidecar left. 4 wide receiver look. Here goes Grant right up the middle. Now he's going to bounce back to the outside over the 20, over the 30, cuts back, and is ushered out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So a quick pickup of 39 from George Grant. I think he heard you, Trent.
Yeah, he did.
He heard you said that he couldn't do 99, so he almost
tried.
got you.
He got about half of it.
There you go. So 40-yard line, ball's going to be at this right hash. Thomas is going to flip from left to right sidecar. Podgorski, the only receiver here, out to the right. Slung out to the left. Quick hitter to Brannon. Nice little cut over midfield. 40, 30, and he's dropped. Good open field tackle on the far side there by Trustin Walker. But a monster 30-yard pickup here. Maclay getting it in bunches, 39 and 30 in back-to-back plays. The flip over, Brannon goes from far side to near side. Here's they go 2 by 2 on receivers. Thomas will say sidecar right. Bootleg, here comes some pressure. They'll move the line. Grant wants to go deep. Podgorski gets free in the secondary, and he's in for 6. So the big tight end able to corral it for, I believe,
I think so.
his first touchdown of the season, Trent.
You saw him kind of just shake his fist in the air and just kind of like a sigh of relief there that he finally got on the scoreboard. And great player. He's made some great plays all season long, so happy to see him reap the fruits of his labor.
There you go. 30-yard strike. Zeke Podgorski. And Big Z, the 30-yard touchdown reception here. 3 minutes and 22 seconds into quarter number 2. Fifth extra point there for Wyatt Long. 35-0 here for the Marauders in quarter number 2. Spreading the wealth. The 4 leading receivers, all with a touchdown here for the Marauders, as well as Grant with the old quarterback keeper. Bashirs, Brannon, Grant, Richardson, Podgorski in that order, in for 6.
Just how they drew it up.
There you go. So 35-0 your score count here at Frank Shaw Field, and the old home cooking working good for the Marauders. Of course, coming into the game 2-0 here at home, 3-0 if you count preseason week 0 versus Orange Beach against the Bama boys. Gotta say, not too shabby here at old Frank Shaw Field, Trent. Lift off here, angled kick towards the sidelines, gonna be fielded at the 6-yard line here by McMillan, who's back running kick. Solid wrap up there. BB Potter, another one, Trent. Dropped at the 25, and I think he wants to top that 14 that he had just a couple weeks ago.
He wants a 20 burger tonight. I'm feeling it.
There you go.
I should have brought my own stat sheet just for him and keep tally. He's got to be at 6'7" by now, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The drive will start here at the 25-yard line. 5th time for DRS. With the offensive side of the football here. Quarter number 2 going to right to left on your screen. Of course, with the orange helmets, white uniforms, orange pants, green numbers with the orange piping. Of course, Maclay with the navy blue district uniforms tonight and the baby blue helmets. Slung on out to the perimeter, quick hitter to Bryant, shakes the first tackle, second one, Potter, another one, Trent, chalk it up as he drops Bryant at the 30-yard line, 8:18 to go in the frame.
Bryant's first catch of the night, definitely not his first look. We saw him pretty explosive on a couple of those early kick returns, so little glimpse of what he can do there on that play. Caught it a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's a good thing he catches that. It's behind the line of scrimmage, right? I believe a backwards pass. That could have been a fumble. So not only does he catch the ball, breaks a couple tackles, gets a few yards, and DRS coming off their best drive of the night, got 3 first downs, had a wonderful punt all the way down to the 1. So we'll see if they can't keep any of that momentum going here.
There you go. Absolutely. And Bryant, leading receiver, coming into this one. Going to go out of the shotgun. McMillan sidecar left, 2x2 with the 4 wide receivers. Screen pass, they set it up for McMillan. Here's Popple and Bailey. And Bailey with the drop. The senior gets the solo tackle here at the 30-yard line. So it'll be back to the line of scrimmage there. So it'll be 3rd down and right about 5 to go here for DRS. Of course, Bailey's been coming on strong, too. You talk about Potter. Bailey definitely showing out here tonight as well. I mean, I know they got a couple more home games going here, Trent, but it feels like senior night going here from
a little
Maclay.
homecoming, yeah.
Yeah, I think they got 2 more. This one's a high pass, incomplete. He'll bring up 4th down. You wonder if they were on the other side of the field, Trent, if they would go for it. Here only 5 to go, but of course backed up deep in your own end. Looks like the punting unit's coming on here. As number 9, Tilford, gets back into positioning. Like you said, Trent, had a little bit of a beauty last time, put it right down on the 1-yard line, unassisted.
Perfect rollout.
Different return man back to get this one. Looks like Jace Wright. Talk about the sophomores here on defense. How about the sophomore on special teams? This one will bounce on midfield, but it'll take a couple of baby rattler bounces. We have some extracurriculars back at the 40-yard line, so this could loom large during the play, Trent.
We seen any laundry? Because I'm not.
Yep, saw a flag come in.
Okay, I see it now.
At
Forgive
the
me.
40-yard line, little skirmish.
I was locked in on the ball. My bad.
So see what the ruling here is. They're Was a little back and forth. It seems both players just as just as guilty there, Trent. Long conversation for the Zebras here.
Personal foul against the Marauders. A 15-yard penalty. First and 10.
So the personal foul.
The drive continues. Right?
It was a signal of first down
That's.
for DRS.
I'm very confused now.
If that is true, then you switch the football and bring on the personnel. But they're going to say it was after the play.
Okay.
So they're going to say it had already been punted down, and so though the infraction was on the Marauders, they would keep possession of the football. But we'll be back up 15 yards.
Makes a little more sense.
So it'll be backed up to about the 30-yard line. So we exactly flip field positions.
Yeah.
30 to 30.
40-yard punt.
There you go.
You'll take that in high school.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And so chain gang getting organized, ironing out the tape. Timeout here for DRS. By my count, that's their second used timeout here of the half.
I'm counting 2. That's what I got.
6:41 to go in quarter number 2. This is the 6th offensive possession from the Maclay Marauders. A perfect 5 for 5 here for Maclay so far this evening. As far as touchdown conversions go, some big plays, some short yardage conversions, a little bit of everything.
That's a deep bomb from 40 yards out.
There you go.
to Mr.
Beautiful
Richardson.
plays.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous ball from Mr. Grant.
We didn't really have time because they got the extra point going so quick and the confusion after the penalty, but that was an absolute beauty that Grant put right on the money.
Like back-to-back. Like hit the first one. Okay, run it back 10 yards. Chop block. Let's do it again.
It's like practice, just getting some reps. Do it again. 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 Grant out of the shotgun, going with a little pistol look here. Thomas is going to split to the outside. 35, and he'll be slung down here on the near side. Samuel Williams, the junior, with the drop, but Thomas having the game of the year for him. Nice little pickup.
And that's got to be great for the Marauders offense going forward into the rest of the season, right? Because not only do you got George Grant throwing the ball, but now you got the running game working as well. Keep the defenses off balance a little bit more.
There you go. And just as we say it, Trent brought on back a little holding here on the Marauders. So 10 yards from the spot, so that'll wipe it off there for Potter. So can't count that one in the stat sheet there. Like we said, per Max Preps, coming in with 48 yards rushing to this game here, Trent. But so far a good showing.
It's got to be over that by now, huh?
Right about, yeah.
Close to it.
Right about equaled that number. See if he can rip a good one here. Screen pass to Potter. Here's a touch in the receiving game. Makes up all the penalty yardage. Picks up nearly 25 on the screen pass. Beautiful little clear out, and he was off and rolling with Thomas. So, of course, right about the 6-minute mark, that's when we get the official water break. So you see that going on here, Trent. After the big old pickup there by Thomas sliding out. I love that play call, too. Sprinkling. Screen pass underrated, you know?
Well, we saw DRS run one of those earlier tonight. Maclay was all over it, and I don't believe they've ran it since then. But that was definitely the first run from Maclay, you know, with all these receivers. Podgorski, the tight end, lining up in the slot. The last thing you're really accounting for is that running back to leak out. And that's what they did. Got a big 15, 20-yard gain off of that one.
Yeah. I think he basically doubled his receiving yards, so it's turning into a season showcase for Thomas. Per Max Preps, coming in with 24 receiving yards to the season. He picked up 23-24 right there, Trent. Man, Hugh Thomas hitting all the overs tonight, Trent,
Yeah.
on a Friday night district contest. 2x2, 4 wide receiver look. Thomas sidecar right.
Oh.
Grant pulls it back, hits the big tight end for his 11th reception of the season, and
I
it looks
love
like Podgorski will have enough to move the chains there.
Grant
On
got me with
first
the
down.
handoff. I lost that one. Forgive me.
Whoop. He's getting good at it, Trent. Second year. First year, it's a little tough coming in from wide receiver to play quarterback, but got the whole off season, and
Not just not just wide receiver either, huh?
he's looking smooth. He's looking smooth here for his senior campaign. Just like his brother did, Michael, a couple years ago. Rush on up the middle. DRS sniffs that one out. Good pursuit there by the middle of that line. Tilford in on the mix. Couple other rattlers as well as
Neely
Thomas.
Johnson.
There you go. Thomas trying to slide through there. So they're going to flip a wide receiver out to this side. Brandon will come over. So it's going to be Richardson, the lone wide receiver left. Grant stepping up, will go to Richardson. Hits the sophomore inside the 30, makes one man miss. Second man miss as well. Richardson off to the races. And the sophomore with his second score of the game. And another big yardage score. This one, I believe, from right about 45 for Richardson.
Well, we've seen him do it over the top, and that one, a little catch and run.
Woo!
He had them laces tied tight.
There you go.
Heck of a juke there to get open down the sideline.
First one, Grant did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yes.
That was
All
all Richardson, baby. Nasty. Nastiness in the secondary. Extra point up and good. And 6 for 6 is Wyatt Long after the 45-yard touchdown reception. Here still in quarter number 2. 4:46 here on the clock. 42-0 here for the Maclay Marauders. And it is tied a season-high scoring. Any guess the opponent, Trent, where they scored 42 last time?
Who Maclay played when they scored 42 last
yes.
time? Leon.
We were looking for Brookwood. Of course, that week 2, 42-17 victory there.
That's what I said.
So, if Maclay registers another point, it could be a season high here, Trent.
I feel like this is a record-setting night for some of these young men for the program.
Absolutely. And a blast here by Long can be fielded at the 9-yard line here by Bryant. Slides on out to the 25. Bring down there by Jace Wright. Jace Wright looking good on special teams here. And ushering out for him. His special teams unit will take a seat. So secondary, of course, Jace Wright in that secondary. You got Tucker Popple. You got number 10, Bo Bashirs over on the far side, 5. Keller Bridges. Haven't heard much from those guys. Davis Malone. And, of course, you know the linebackers. Bailey, Miller, Potter. They've been busy. Wildrick. The middle of that line, of course, with Ryder Marks and Nick Streety, your 11 on defense here for the Maclay Marauders. So 6-score difference here in quarter number 2. Step on up, sliding out to the far side, caught by Bryant. Tucker Popple is in on the mix, as is Keller Bridges. So they're those guys in the secondary. We haven't heard much from Trent with a group tackle there over on that far side.
They wanted to let you know specifically that they're still very involved in this game.
There you go.
We still got a whole second half to play, so I'm sure we'll call some of those names a little later on as well.
There you go. Got to get some love here, man. Everybody wants to get that shout out. Second and short coming here for DRS. Are you more of a DRS guy or a FAMU high? Where do you stand on that front, Trent?
You know, I found out this morning because I ran into somebody with some gear on. I said, oh, DRS, huh? I'm actually calling their game tonight. And I realized in that moment I'm a DRS guy because I had to catch myself. I almost said FAMU, but I realized that's not what the locals say around here. You filled me in on that, so I'm rolling with the DRS.
Yeah, some of the old heads, because back in the day, they kind of flip-flop.
Okay.
So some of the old heads, they used to call it FAMU High back in the day. So you see it both ways. It's kind of like Florida High, right?
Sure.
So you kind of see them as Florida State University schools, FSUS. A lot of people still prevailing narrative is Florida High. Similar, so you can kind of age people out as how they reference the school from the south side, just off Orange and Wanish way down there, Trent.
So if I call Florida High, and I call DRS, what age bracket do I fall into? Neither?
I would say that you fall into under 35
Well, hey,
age bracket.
guess what? You'd be correct.
There you go. Second down and moderate here for DRS. Great catch by McMillan.
Oof.
Coming like a freight train there. Taco Papa able to hold on. And Wildrick. Oh, how about Wildrick on the sly? So Wildrick's helmet pops off, but you know, if you lose your lid, you got to come off for a play. So Popple's on top of him, and he's on the slide, puts his helmet back on. Refs didn't see it, so Wildrick gets to stay on the field here.
Genius.
Doesn't have to come on. Love it.
Just brothers being brothers, huh?
There you go. And so Abram Wildrick, another play here on defense. He doesn't want to come off the field for third down. Quick hitter. Bryant's going to shake a tackle. Football's on the ground. Marauders going to come up with it, and it's going to be Keller Bridges to recover the fumble.
He said, say my name, Andrew Juke.
There you go. Keller Bridges will say it again. 5'10 senior with the scoop. And a turnover going Maclay's way. Here as they'll set out offensively for drive number 7, 1:50 to go here in the opening half. 110 seconds. Switch out here, running back, Jediah Stewart, the sophomore now, and he'll get the swing pass coming out of the backfield. Nice block by Podgorski and Brandon, and he's inside the 30. Monster pickup. About 20 for Stewart. His first play, I believe, of the game. And Trent, talk about season high. Stewart coming into this one with 24 yards receiving. Rips off about 20 right there, first play.
Can he get the 5 to get the over?
That's what you gotta get. You gotta love a good quarterback when he's feeding the ball to everybody and they're getting season highs. Handoff, here's Stewart again. Second consecutive touch for Stewart, and he dials it up, 29-yard touchdown.
Good for him.
7th one in here for the Marauders, and another sophomore for Maclay. The future's bright here, Trent.
How about Stewart? 2 plays, 2 touches, 1 first down and a touchdown.
It's Bashir-esque.
Very much. This is the next wave, the underclassmen coming through.
There you go.
But very Bashir's-esque.
Almost identical to the first drive, except in reverse. Extra point up and good. Another one for Long, and it's 49 for the Marauders. Here is the latest edition.
I do have a quick little shout out for a Bo Bashir's, number 10. I've seen him with a couple of really good catches and holds there from the placeholder position there for the kicker on some of these extra points. So definitely a position that usually goes unnoted, but I want to go ahead and spread some love his way. Not an easy job, Juke. You get in a spiral right at your eyeball, and you got to catch that thing, put it down perfectly, line it up. In a matter of 1 second, if that.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting the job done.
Plus, yeah, like you said, flying under the radar, nobody really notices you until you mess up.
Exactly. There were a couple that could have been mess-ups had he not been on it, but he was on it.
That's what makes a good holder. Make it look easy. Nice blast here by Long. caught here by Bryant, looking to get a full head of steam. Little drop by Bo Bashirs. There's your boy.
There he is.
BB Potter also in the mix, as is Jace Wright, as is Hugh Thomas, getting some special teams as well. As the Rattlers will come out for offensive possession number 7. Here with 68 ticks of the clock to go here at Crenshaw Field here in the opening half. A little switch up of personnel here. Looks like Macmillan's got a little bit of a stinger, so they're going to bring in Trustin Walker, who's a nice quick tailback, usually plays in the secondary. Throw into traffic. Bo Bashirs, defensive breakup.
Let's name somebody else off because they'll be involved in like the next 4 plays if we do.
There you go.
Who you got? Pick somebody.
Little flex of the abs here. How about Davis Malone? I like that he's got the hood on here. He's ready for fall football. It is not cold. For the record, it is 80s.
It's not hot though for what we're used to, us Floridians. This is a cool game, I would say.
We have yet to take the turn into the fall weather, but yeah.
You and I are up here, and they're playing football with pads on, so.
Slung into traffic. 3 Marauders in on the bring down. Rollins Miller, Davis Malone, Jace Wright in on the bring down.
Who caught it?
Oh, penalty flag.
Mr. Neely Johnson with a big catch, but
There you go.
we'll see if that stands.
Freshman. Talk about the young stars here in this game. A lot of sophomores from Maclay. Neely Johnson, just a freshman here for the Rattlers. Face mask on the Marauders. So with the penalty yardage, it'll be enough for the first down. It's going to put it right about midfield when it's off to it.
Much needed break there for DRS. We've seen him get the drives going a little bit more the last couple ones. Gotten into opposing territory a few times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5-yard face mask. First down, FAMU.
So they get him up to the 40. Here, Brian would step up, wants to sling it for Johnson, and there's Jace Wright in the area. Incomplete pass here, 45 seconds.
So, Jeep, I just want to clarify, that was only a 5-yard face mask penalty. I guess it was like an incidental one.
Yeah, it looks like
You
it.
want to set me straight on that?
Indeed. Multiple levels here for the Florida high school game. Split out to a 4 wide receiver look, still with Walker in the backfield, sidecar right of Butler. Motion coming, Bryant going near to far side. Little pressure from Maclay, they'll bring 8. Almost picked there by Popple. Low diving effort there by the sophomore, number 27, incomplete. And I'll bring up 3rd and long.
This is third down.
Knows the football here on the 40. Need to get to midfield. A nice newly painted Marauder logo. It's up here earlier in the week, Trent.
I wasn't going to say it.
Full slate, unpainted field, so the crisp lines here on a Friday. I mistakenly thought the game was on Monday. Turns out that is not the case.
You and I both.
4 wide receiver look, Bryant bootleg. Here comes Marks on the pressure. Shoestring has Butler, but he's able to get it away. And it'll be incomplete pass. Great pressure there by Marks.
Great effort by Butler to get that off.
Yep.
Brings up 4th down.
So 4th down and long. So a time where you think about it, but it looks like they're going to switch personnel, bring on the punting unit. And Tilford to get ready. Will the junior.
2 good punts in a row from Tilford.
Mm-hmm.
1 down to the 1.
He's got some nice hands, too. We haven't seen him yet in the passing game, but he'll slide in there as a tight end. This one skips into him, does well to scoop that up. A little sidewinder punt. Bounce at the 40. Couple DRS bounces, get to about the 31. So, of course, you flip field, about 29-yarder. Get it out of danger, and Maclay will take over for offensive possession, numero ocho. That's number 8 for those
Who no habla.
who, yes. No habla español. True. 17 seconds to go here. So if you're coach, you take a shot here, or you keep it on the ground and get to the locker room.
I'm thinking just a little gamesmanship, keep it on the ground, let it run out, but
Pitch on out to Popple, third different running back we've seen here tonight for the Marauders. Monster pickup over on the far side. 25, 20, 15, one man to beat. And Popple's in for 68-yard touchdown there for Tucker Popple. Pitch on out to the far side. Almost enough time expired to run out the clock. There's still a couple seconds to go here. And another different score here for Maclay to add to the tally as they break the 50 mark.
I was going to ask how many plays it was going to take for them to score again, and then I realized they were 18. They probably just run it once, and they did, and it was just that one play that they needed to score, Jim.
Extra point, up and good. Another good hold by your boy Bo Bashirs there, Trent.
Great blocking up front from that Marauder offensive line. I mean, that's been the key that, and one of the things I think is going to go unsung, you know, when you see a score like this and you check the box scores and you see all the yards that everybody's got, but how'd they get those yards? It's because they had holes. They had blocks downfield. I mean, wide receivers, tight ends, everybody on that play paving the way for Mr. Tucker Popple. I mean, it seemed like I don't even think he got touched on that one. I mean, if there was contact, it was slight, and he was able to keep going. So great stuff there from the sophomore, Mr. Popple.
There you go. Of course, the big boys on the line. Andrew Berenson, Ryder Marks, Justin Murphy, Manny Arizo, Keaton Beach. Talk about the big tight end, Podgorski, getting in the mix here as well. 3.9 seconds to go. Here before the break. Maclay still on pace, Trent.
For the hundo?
Yep.
Sure enough.
Quarter 1 and 2, getting 28 points each way. Squib here for FAMU to deal with. Sprawling forward just shy of the 40-yard line. The return there by, I believe it was Jacoby Saylor. And the Marauders will go into the locker room here. 56-0 the advantage at the break. So touchdowns by Bashirs, Brannon, Grant, Richardson, Podgorski, Richardson, Stewart, Popple. Here the tally for the Maclay Marauders. 8 of them on 8 offensive possession will take us into the break. Any thoughts from the opening half, Trent, or does score line pretty much say it all?
I was going to say, I think 56, nothing says it all.
There you go. We're going to jump out for a quick break here as we are now into the half-time mark. So, of course, here for Frank Shaw Field, battle of 3-1 Maclay Marauders and FAMU Baby Rattlers. Little south side versus north side here today. So, while we have the opportunity, I want to thank our sponsors here for Maclay Marauder Football. Of course, couldn't have the season, couldn't have the broadcast, especially without them. Here presented by Four Quarters Online. As you go forward here, these are the top Marauder sponsors. These are the big dogs here. Centria Insurance, Benner's Contracting Incorporated, Dermatology Associates of Tallahassee, Hangar 38, letting the good times roll, the family of Henry Richardson, Home Instead, to us it's personal, Honey Lake Clinic, Prime Meridian Bank. Rugs.com. Steve Brown, Direct Marketing. Tallahassee Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, specializing in adult and pediatric allergic disorders. The Pod, Tallahassee Medical Group, and last but not least, Ultimate Fencing. Of course, the other sponsors here, of course, the Shield sponsors for the 2024 Maclay Football Program, the Southern Group for the Table Hospitality, Lloyd Roofing, Roofing Done Right, Merrill Lynch, and Mike Robinson, and last but not least, Mount Pleasant Lodge. Their special events in the North Florida Highlands. Of course, your Shield sponsors and your top Marauder sponsors here for Maclay Football. We're at the break here, 56-0 for Maclay Marauders here on the Four Quarters Online presentation of Friday Night Football for Maclay. We're going to step out here for some commercial breakage. Come right on back on the other side for half number 2.
Two years ago, in this very site, we launched the I Think initiative. Two years later, we stand here in the new Beck Family Innovation Center coming out of the ground, going into the chemistry lab with the Beck Family Research Center behind us. This movement, this attitude of the I Think initiative has been amazing for our students because we're trying to honor our mission to make sure that we're helping our students reach their fullest extent by honoring the interests that each one of them have.
There is no set curriculum, so the teachers can teach how they want to teach kids, and I think that's really helpful.
I mean, I've heard from other schools, from other students, it's a very different learning experience for them. They don't have as much hands-on things as we do. We really get a good learning experience here. It's different, it's creative, it's outside of the box.
That undercurrent that the I Think initiative has been able to give us has pushed us forward. $7 million later, we have a wonderful Beck Family Research Center, and we're in the middle of construction for the Beck Family Innovation Center, which gives a lab space to the business and entrepreneurship concentration, new spaces, cutting-edge technology for all of the core sciences. And then Langford Hall is going to be a wonderful gathering place that's also convertible for recitals and things where students are able to exhibit the things that they're really passionate about. One of the unique things about Maclay is that we are a pre-K through 12 school. So as we think about the work that we do with students, we're able to know what the outcome is and then drive that all the way back to a 3-year-old's experience. When I think about our alumni, can they walk out and know that no matter what the world's going to throw at them, they can do it? It's that understanding that life is a journey, but it honors those who take the field and have the courage to lean into those problems. That's what a Maclay graduate walks away with.
I think I can.
I think I can.
I think I can.
I did.
I did.
I did.
I did too.
I did.
I did.
I did.
I did too.
I did.
I did.
We did too.
name's Avery Smith. I came to Maclay in 2016, came in as a freshman, and I moved from a different school. I ran cross country my freshman and sophomore year, and then I ran track all 3 years and plan to run this year as well. And then I played soccer all 4 years. And then the clubs I've been a part of Student Council, Anchor Club, Red Cross Club, and then Dance Marathon is my big organization that I'm a part of. Miracle Network Dance Marathon is a movement benefiting Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, an organization that raises funds and awareness for over 170 pediatric hospitals across North America. My freshman year, I signed up 2 days before, and I went that Saturday, and I immediately just fell in love with it. I think it's so cool that a group of students can get together and raise thousands of dollars for the families and for kids with pediatric illness. I just know so many families that go to Maclay and that are in the Taz community that are affected by Dance Marathon. So I think it's really important that we try to push all throughout the year and we get as much as the student body involved as we can. Dance Marathon has given me a chance to work with many different students and serve as a leader in Maclay but also in the community. I have been taking the business concentration classes because that's what I'm leaning towards majoring in college. So I have been able to take personal finance, risk and reward, and then this year I'm taking a directed independent study that's called marketing communications. So I've been able to see all the different bits and pieces that fall under that business branch, and so I kind of get a feel for what I want to focus on in college next year. I tend to thrive on a very busy schedule, so when I have to balance academics and social and athletics and all of that, I know when it gets tough, it's preparing me for my life after Maclay this year, and I feel very prepared going into college. I'm Avery and I'm determined.
I am Eric Phipps. I started at Maclay early 2000s, sometime in pre-K. I live on a dirt road kind of out in the woods, and I've always kind of enjoyed being in nature and interacting with it. I've always wanted to make change, I guess. Biology seems like a field that would be really rewarding, and also I find it very interesting. I've found it interesting since 9th grade. Maclay does have a band. It's nice to be able to participate and play the trumpet because I love doing that. Although it is also nice to be able to conduct. I love jazz.
Eric started in band in the 5th grade. He started on the trumpet and he has loved music ever since and has stayed with the band program ever since. And as he has developed, he has become more of a leader in the band, and the last 2 years he has become my student director. And what the student director does is to lead the jazz ensemble.
It's kind of hard to rein everybody in, especially when there's a student conductor, so you have to kind of be firm, and I guess I've learned how to do that. I've definitely grown since I started doing that, and I've learned more communication and leadership skills. I love Mr. Norman. He kind of teaches you more how to think than write, because not like he teaches you how to think, but he teaches you how to think for yourself. Basically, he teaches you that no piece of literature has one single meaning and you can interpret it however you'd like. And I think that's a really cool idea, something I learned in his class that I've never learned before. Something that's a recent interest, but I really, really want to do now is architecture. I'm going to college for engineering. That's the plan. And I really, really enjoy designing and building things. I have a lot of interests. I don't know which one I want to do, but currently I'm thinking about architecture. At Maclay, I've learned to respect my teachers and all the faculty and all the students around me, and I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. I'm Eric, and I'm inspired.
name is Hannah Jose. I've been at Maclay since the 9th grade. Instantly, when I came into Maclay, I was connected with teachers, mentors, peers that helped me have like one of the smoothest transitions. I found a notebook on my teacher's desk at Holy Comforter, and it said Student Astronaut Challenge. And instantly I was like, what is that? And she explained it to me, and she said, hey, if you want to create a team, we need 5 people by tomorrow. And so I asked a bunch of my friends from different grade levels, and we had a team by the next day. And when I came to Maclay and found that there wasn't a Student Astronaut Challenge, I knew that I had to get this program started. So when I competed in the middle school, I just remember loving it and wanting to learn more and wanting to know more. And so getting to help the middle schoolers really inspires me to continue what I'm doing. I just see them light up, and it's been an incredible experience because we're working together and they look up to me, but I am also looking for them for inspiration. So throughout my years, I have a particular love for biology. And in sophomore year, I took my biology class, but unfortunately, that's the only biology class. I wanted to be more specific. I wanted to guide my learning into one directed path. And so this year, I've been able to create a class called Biomedical Science. And so I have been able to research different diseases from Alzheimer's to Parkinson's to MS. I'm a very active student. I play a lot of sports after school, and so that requires a lot of time management. But fortunately, the teachers and all my coaches work with me and understand that all the students here are so active and so involved in many different things. Maclay is a really challenging school, but that has ultimately led me and challenged me to become the best student I can be. And it also has challenged me to be involved in so many activities, so I have been able to find my interests and my passions through all the opportunities Maclay has provided. I'm Hannah, and I'm determined.
I'm Hunt Dyson. I started at Maclay in kindergarten. I came from Faith Preschool. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed it a lot, especially going into high school. Like, I had that group of friends that I've known my entire life, and then I also got to meet a bunch of new people from coming outside. I started out just as a writer sophomore year. I had heard that my friends Emily Dudley, Ellie Castillo, and Rachel Stockel wanted to make the paper. So I contacted Mr. Normant, who redirected me to Mrs. Mayer, and they said I could come on as a writer. So I wrote, I think, a couple of articles for the newspapers. It just got to start up. And then Will became student council president, so they needed a sports editor. So junior year, last year, I stepped in as sports editor, which was really rewarding. I want to say APUSH was probably my favorite class. I didn't think it would be. I've never been a big history guy, but that was a really, really fun class just because it went a little bit more in depth than I thought it would have gone, and it was just kind of cool to like see the broad concepts that I learned as a little kid and then go a little bit more in depth as to why those things happen. I really enjoyed, honestly, all of them. They're all really passionate. I would say Mr. Normant's up there just because of how passionate he is about it. Dr. Bevan too. I had Dr. Bevan for the first time this year, but just, you know, how passionate he is about teaching it. You know, if he reads a good line or something in Hamlet, he'll kind of slam his book on the table and just be like, wow, like that was an amazing line, like isn't that awesome? So it's really nice being able to learn from teachers who are super passionate and then can kind of like relay that on you because it's palpable almost, it's just in the air, you're able to feel it. In 5 years, hopefully in grad school. I don't know what I want to major in, but I know after undergrad, I want to get my Juris Doctor degree and MBA, get that joint degree. And then as far as a job goes, I don't know. I think public relations would be pretty cool. Over the summer, I job shadowed a public relations firm, and I got a lot out of that. So hopefully interning and working on getting my graduate degrees. I'm Hunt, and I'm unstoppable.
And welcome back here to Frank Shaw Field. Here it's Maclay and FAMU DRS getting ready to start quarter number 3. And so far, the Marauders been taking care of business in a big way. 56-0, your advantage at the moment here. The 4 quarters online presentation of Maclay Marauder football. Of course, big district contest would give Maclay the advantage here. No other district games have been played. Of course, NFC and St. John Paul II, they will meet later on this season. FAMU DRS will play next week against NFC. Next week for Maclay, they will play St. John Paul II. So, of course, typically we'd have a week in between these contests here with the district, Trent, but because of the reschedule, we're going back to back here. And by the end of the next week, we should have a really good picture of what the district is going to look like down the stretch, with the finale coming on the 25th with FAMU and St. John Paul II.
And don't forget that big NFC matchup Maclay's got here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be the 18th. So they'll go 3 in a row, Will Maclay.
Back-to-back.
Back.
Yeah,
absolutely. Of course, like we said, big contest going on here tonight, but let's go around the bend back down to the south side by the campus of Development Research School of Florida A&M University. Lincoln, 14 unanswered.
Ooh.
These scores are per score stream, so take that as you will. Lincoln 14-9 advantage over Gadsden. Madison County out in against a tough Pace Patriots team. They're 7-7 in quarter number 2. How about St. John Paul II, a bounce-back game for the Panthers. It's a one-score game versus Wakulla, 14-6. Tight contest. Arnold up 20-0 over Vernon. Florida High 17-6 over Charles. Jefferson County. Talk about the district opponent NFC, 29 for Jefferson, 0 for NFC. Cottondale, the big undefeated matchup out in East Point. 5-0 Cottondale, 5-0 Franklin, 32-20. The Hornets on top of the Seahawks. Keep rolling down. Fort White 12-7 over Lafayette. Choctaw 9-0 over South Walton. Cairo 35-0 over Leon. Marietta rolling 42-0 first half over North Bayhaven. Keep on rolling down. Weewop 20-7 over Liberty County. The Gators trying to get the first dub of this season. And of course, the final yesterday, Godby coming back to beat Baker County 39-34. Godby a 22-point fourth quarter to reverse circle the wagons against the Wildcats. And then, of course, on Wednesday, Rickards went over to Fort Walton Beach and took care of the Vikings. So back here at Frank Shaw Field, the kickoff goes long. It's going to be fielded here by Bryant for FAMU, and he will be dropped by 3 Marauders. Of course, B.B. Potter down at the bottom of the pile there. It's becoming the usual situation. Tucker Popple in the mix as well. Also, Keller Bridges.
All our boys getting in on the action here on special teams.
Slide on in, yes, sir. That they are, Trent. That they are.
So we might have a little different look here in the second half of this FAMU DRS offense. Jupe, you got any intel for us?
Yeah, so we see to start the mix here. Of course, new running back. And we saw towards the end of the first half, Trustin Walker, the junior, in for McMillan. So number 2 in for number 3. Of course, he is a solid tailback, though. Seen him on some film. He's quick, elusive, as we see there, as he picks up just about 10 here for the Rattlers. To set up second down and very, very short here for the visitors. 2nd and 2 officially, so 8 by Walker on the first down carry. So he's sidecar right of Bryant. They're going to go back to Walker and Wildrick. What a fantastic play by him back at the 25-yard line. Tackle for loss by Abram Wildrick, the 5'10 junior, who's had a great game, kind of sealing the edge on that right side of the defensive line. And it looks like we're still rocking here. First string for Maclay to start half number 2. Of course, we are going running clock here in the second half. Here, state of Florida, since we've broken the 35-point threshold. Deflected ball, great pursuit there. Davis Malone almost intercepted by Maclay, but it'll fall incomplete off the deflection. So a quick 3 and out here for the Rattlers. Look like they're gonna keep the offense on the field. So Butler going back over to the huddle. They say, let's get it going. Butler's going to take the snap.
We got the punter lined up back there, number 9.
That's wild. Your starting quarterback going to take the snap here for the punt, and there's Tilford, so my mistake. Tilford, an absolute rocket there. Nice blast, touched by Maclay. It's a fumble. And did Maclay get back on top of it?
I think so.
Wow.
Incredible.
Don't know how Wright got back on top of it, recovering his own fumble.
Great effort from Wright.
But able to do so by Jace Wright, one of those sensational sophomores for Maclay. And they'll take over 9th offensive possession here for the Rattlers. As we're here, just over 8 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Still Grant, still Thomas. Receivers, looks like we do have a new receiver in the mix though. Andrew Lunt, the senior over on the far side, as we have a keeper by Grant, off and rolling inside the 20, 15, inside the 10, surging forward. Monster pickup from Grant, about 48, 50 on the play, just about. Monster pickup there for Grant here in quarter number 3. Quarterback still feeling it here, Trent. Couple yards away from going 50+ in back-to-back weeks. 7.5 to play here in quarter number 3. Maclay on the doorstep again. Deflection. Almost intercepted here by DRS. Good breakup. Bryson Brown in the mix there for DRS. I believe Neely Johnson got his hands in there. I think he was the initial one to deflect it. Then it was Brown to clean it up there. So it'll be a give to Thomas right down Main Street. He'll lower the shoulder, and Thomas is in for the touchdown. His first touchdown of the game. And our opening score here, quarter number 3, almost at the midway point of the quarter.
You think that's why Grant didn't score? He wanted his boy Thomas to get in the end zone?
I don't know about that. You think too highly of the young man, Trent.
I mean, 98 yards last week, multiple 40-yard plays so far this week. It's hard not to think highly of the guy.
New kicker in, sophomore Drew Lemondola in for the extra point.
Another great hole from Mr. Bobashirs.
So, of course, 1/2 of work there for Wyatt Long, and he says, you know what? Let's get the youngster in the mix.
I mean, Wyatt Long's looking good, dude. I think he could hit from 40, 45 right now if he needed to. So, really no point in him continuing this game. You get the young cat out there, get him some valuable experience at this point in the season.
There you go.
One day it'll be his job.
Yeah, this season he hasn't really had a chance to dial it up from distance, just with the success of what we've seen from Maclay here this season. Now, I think his season long is 38, if I'm not mistaken. But to your point, Trent, I agree. I think he definitely hit for 40.
I mean, he's good for 20, 25 on a lot of these extra points so far tonight, so.
Yeah, easy. 9 scores across here from Maclay. Lamadola with a right-footed blast. And that one gets to about the 8. That's right where Long's been putting it. It's going to be returned by Bryant. He'll spin out of this one. Tumble down there. Couple new Marauders in on the mix. Hunter Shaheen in on the mix. And then also Johnny Papuchis, the freshman on the bring down, number 24.
Ryder Marks, Abram Wildrick wanting to come out and get a little more action here in the second half. They're not done yet.
Indeed.
We'll see how many Coach Colley trots back out here from those starting units here in the second half as time dwindles down in the second.
Does look like he has some additional players here getting in the mix. I see Ben Thompson, number 13 in the huddle, number 12, Hunter Smith in the huddle. Yeah, a lot of the secondary changing over here from Maclay. Jediah Stewart now in on defense here. Marks and Wildrick are going to keep there on the bookends. Nicky Fiore is going to be in the middle of the formation, kind of that nose tackle, number 54, the freshman. Flipping out the linebacker core, a couple of them. Holtz and Tohi, as well as Stewart in there with Rollins Miller, coming from far side to near side. Snap, Bryant, quick hitter from Butler, incomplete. So bring up second down and long. So we're getting sprinkled in here from Maclay. Not a full sale switch, Trent, but definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. About half the defense getting swapped out here for Coach Colley.
You got to think that's by design, you know, keep some of these guys that have gotten you to this point in the game out there and also give some of the other ones a breather. Fumble.
Diving back on top of it is Walker. Ryder Marks in the area for Maclay, trying to see if he could get an errant scoop there as we dive under 4 minutes to play. So I like that. You know, you still get the communication, you get the leadership from some of these upperclassmen starters, but working the other guys still in the system here gives them the mix. Hunter Smith back with the football program this year. Really good baseball player is number 12. Catch him in the spring over on the diamond. Stone's throw away here from the football field here, Trent.
You know, I'm a baseball guy. I might swing out here and catch one of those games.
There you go. 3rd and about 15 to go for DRS. Going 4 wide. Bryant sling it. Looking for Neely Johnson over the middle. Incomplete will bring up 4th down.
Good coverage here from Jace Wright. Step for step with him.
There you go. Yeah, big night for Jace Wright here. Number 9. Our last couple quarters, I should say. Second quarter. Didn't really get much by way of looks in quarter number 1, but definitely before halftime here, quarter number 3, things have been picking up.
My boy Butler with another long snap, and you got to think that's, you know, by design as well, because we've had some tough snaps here for DRS early in the game, and I guess coach had seen enough. Who better to handle the ball than your quarterback?
I'll say the logic tracks. I've never seen it before.
No, me
but
neither.
It does make sense. And there you go. Nice little punt and roll here by Tilford.
Another good one.
And that'll be 40, just about 45 on the punt here as we approach 2 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Maclay offensive possession number 10 on the evening.
Over under 3 plays.
Over.
Until they score. Okay.
Going over. Switch out of personnel here. New quarterback, Bo Bashirs.
Here we go.
Sophomore in. Hunter Smith is going to be the tailback. I believe it's the 5th different tailback here. Also some new substitutions on offense. You got 17, Sean Van Tassel. Also number 13, Ben Thompson. And here's Hunter Smith trying to hit the perimeter, stretched out well. Good bring down in space there by DRS. Where's some other fresh faces we have here? Andrew Lunt, who we saw in the last offensive possession, senior wide receiver number 11. Beach is still in the mix. We've got Justin Murphy. Looks like a lot of the offensive line is intact here.
Big Pod.
Indeed, Podgorski back in the mix. Here comes Blake Brannon on the end around. And he's slung down. But it should be enough for the first down, about the 36-yard line. Who else is on the line? Beach. That's the usual suspects. Berenson, Arizo, and Fiore. So mostly starters there on the line. So it looks like swapping out most of the wide receivers in the skill position. So once again, 5 new players here on defense, 5 new players here on offense. As Stewart takes the carry here for the Marauders.
Well, you were correct. That was the third play. So slowed it down a little bit here in the third quarter.
There you go.
Winding down. We'll see if they get another play off.
I don't believe they need to run a play here before the end of the quarter, but it looks like Bashirs and Coach Cawley want to. Second down and short. Look over to the left. Swing pass out to Brannon. First down and more as they get into positive territory inside the 45-yard line. And that's how we'll take the changeover into quarter number 4 for the final frame of action here at Frank Shaw Field. So while we have a quick change up here as we'll flip sides of the field, give some love to our sponsors. First, we're going to go against the big dogs, the big sponsors here, Top Marauders, Essentia Insurance, Benner's Contracting, Dermatology Associates, Hangar 38, Family of Henry Richardson, Home Instead, Honey Lake Clinic, Prime Meridian Bank, Rugs.com, Steve Brown Direct Marketing, Tallahassee Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, The Pod, Tallahassee Medical Group, and Ultimate Fencing. And we'll come in for our Shield sponsors, Southern Group, For the Table Hospitality, Lloyd Roofing, Merrill Lynch, Mike Robinson, and Mount Pleasant Lodge. Of course, shout out to the sponsors here for Maclay Football. Couldn't do them and bring you the broadcast here of the 4 quarters online presentation of Maclay Football without them. So thank you to the Top Marauder and Shield sponsors here for the 2024 season. So after the stoppage here, third quarter in the books. 1 touchdown in that third quarter. It's a 2-yard rushing touchdown by Hugh Thomas. Here's the give to Papuchis on the stretch out. And the freshman with the couple-yard rush there. I believe it's the 6th different tailback here for Maclay this evening. Papuchis, he's definitely towards the top of my list on favorite names here.
That's a fun one.
Maclay Marauders. Papuchis. Johnny. So switch out personnel once again. Stewart, sidecar left of Bashirs. Rush on out to the right, inside the 40. Still rolling is Stewart. Monster gain for him. Pickup of about 17, 18 for Stewart. Some more personnel, fresh faces. Well, we saw Hunter Shaheen last time, but we did not see Ford Brown, the freshman wide receiver, number 44 here on the near side. Papuchis is going to split out here. He's in the slot on the left-hand side. We've also got Colson Miller, the freshman wide receiver, outright. Oh, eaten up on the end around. Good tackle there. I believe it's Nigel Cloud. Rush on the play there. Was that Van Tassel on the end around, I believe? The 17.
Yes.
caught the middle linebacker coming right down Main Street, Trent.
It's lucky he was able to hold on to that touch pass.
Look out.
The second he got that ball, he got hit. So.
Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. Easy there. Stewart will go sidecar left to right. Here of Bashir's the new quarterback, if you're just joining us. 2nd and about 17 to go. Keeper from Bashir's with some George Grant approach there on the keeper as we dip below 10 minutes to play here in the final frame. Stoppage here with the injury down on the field. So while we have an opportunity, what you think, Trent? Should we go around the bend?
Yeah, absolutely.
See if we can't get some score.
We had some late kicks, so we'll see what's going on.
So, of course, a big district battle going here. How about out west? A battle of 4-1 teams. Madison County leads pace 15-14.
Ooh, barn burner.
And Wakulla and St. John Paul II still a one-score game, 14-6. War Eagles lead the Panthers. Bluntstown all over Sneads, 32-3 in the first half. South Walton hanging tough with Choctaw. They're down 9-0 to the Indians. No score update for Arnold, still showing 20-0. Florida High and Childs still 17-6. That has not been updated. Cottondale up big on Franklin County, 40-20, that score in the second half. Fort White still leads Lafayette, 12-7. Jefferson County still 29-0 over NFC. Though that game should be in the second half. We'll see if we can get an update. Couple scores from Gadsden County down the stretch. The Jaguars lead Lincoln, 23-14. 14 unanswered for Gadsden County.
That's wild.
Our game here, Marietta up 42-0 over North Bayhaven. Leon trailing Cairo 35-0. Weewa trailing Liberty County. Or sorry, Weewa leading Liberty County.
I was going to say.
20-7, my mistake.
That's new.
9:52 go here, quarter number 3, resuming from the injury timeout. Bashir's in at quarterback here for Maclay. Papuchis and Stewart. Sidecar of Bashir's here in the kind of that max protect look. They'll go 3 wide receivers. Give down Main Street to Stewart here on 3rd down. And I believe this is the first 4th down that Maclay has seen this evening. Here at the 9:30 mark. In quarter number 4, Coach Culley says, second team in the skill positions, let's go for it.
Why not?
Keep an eye on Ford Brown out here in the perimeter. Option, far side, Bashir's with the pitch out to Stewart. And Maclay, for a squad that loves to sprinkle it in and run with the quarterback, you don't see a lot of option from them.
No.
But a nice dig into the bag. You feeling that, Trent?
Oh, absolutely. Great self from Bashir's, able to get the linebacker to bounce outside and then has the awareness once he is finally going to get hit. He knows he's got his boy Stewart still wide open. Tosses it to him.
Slide on down. So, of course, in the danger zone now. This one coming back near side. Strong rush there from Holt and Tohe, the freshman tailback. 2nd and goal for Maclay here. Approaching the 8-minute mark in quarter number 4. Trying to make sure that they score in every quarter here. Papuchis left and Tohe right of Bashir's. Give to Papuchis right down the middle, and he's in for 6.
There's Johnny.
Indeed. And another new scorer here for Maclay. Johnny Be Good Papuchis.
I think Coach College is going down the roster at this point. Who hasn't scored yet? Let's draw a couple plays up for him.
Maybe so.
Wouldn't be crazy.
Maybe so. Lemondola in for his second extra point attempt. Oh, Bashir's a nice snap and slides it in. The right upright.
That's the third one Bashir's has had to work for tonight.
Woo! Touchdown number 10.
I was going to say who's counting, but that's kind of our job, huh?
There you go. 70-0. Score count here in the fourth frame of action. Been a minute since I've seen a 70-plus game in person. I think the last time was 2019, was it? I remember it was a Thursday night game down at the Gene. Lincoln was playing the Hudson Cobras from the Tampa area. It was all over them. Maybe even earlier before that, because I recall the current Clemson tight end Sage Ennis being on the roster back for
Watch out.
Lincoln at that point in time. So may have been 2018, but I think that's the last time I saw 70 in person. We've seen a lot of our Big Bend teams throwing down scores in the 60s. Mariana hit 60 a couple times. Cottondale hit 60 a couple times. A season of scoring, Trent.
Not a bad thing.
Speaking of scores, I'm trying to get this updated Childs Florida High score. Unsuccessful so far. That Gadsden Lincoln game is a little wild. Little wild. Have to hit the social medias as the traditional venues are not yielding much fruit. Squib kick here from Lemondola. It's going to be dove on there by Coy Diedrich of DRS. And so about 7 minutes to go. It was a punt return touchdown for Gadsden that put them up 23-14. About 7 minutes to go down there at the Gene. Still looking for that Childs Florida High score, the elusive one.
Little official water break here, last one of the night, 6 minute mark.
There you go. As we have FAMU DRS on the field. Trent. FAMU Florida A&M University wide receiver commit Makai Maddox with a touchdown tonight down there at Gene Cox Stadium. Of course, the Lincoln Trojan. So a little tie over here. Also an update.
Drum roll.
John Paul II.
Uh-oh. What are they doing?
Ties it up versus Wakulla 14 all. The ensuing possession, they go squib kick, and then a monster run by Sion Ramson puts Wakulla back up on top to a seesaw dramatic affair. 21-14 Wakulla once again. They've held about a touchdown lead, it seems, for the entire game over JP2. They trade quick touchdowns and about 3 minutes to go down the stretch there. Rush here by Walker coming near side. One of the bigger plays of the night here for FAMU DRS. Nice rush there by Walker. Picks up, what'd you say, about 17 on the rush there?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. Walker's a solid player. Really like him on the back end of that defense, too. He had a play, earlier in the season. I want to say it was against Cottondale, where they had a breakaway touchdown, but he comes full sprint across the field to save the touchdown on defense. He just loved his effort, and he's been churning out there all night. And now, of course, with McMillan taking a seat, he's going to be the lead back that we see here. He was coming into the season second leading carrier for DRS, but we talk about all the underclassmen, a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores on this class here. So that makes you excited looking here for FAMU DRS next year as they use their third and final timeout of the half.
I wasn't keeping track, I'm not going to lie. I was keeping track in the first half.
Indeed.
I didn't think that they were out of timeouts after that one, but I do believe our good friend over here to the left.
Indeed, indeed. So, of course, 4:35 to go here. And we've seen some glimpses from FAMU DRS. You see some building blocks and, you know, not something that you necessarily take away from the box score, but these are some things going forward that you can start to see some progress going here for the Rattlers. And I still like their chances. I like the fight from DRS here down the stretch. Like we said, Butler can sling it. I like Brian on the outside. You talk about the young Neely Johnson here on the perimeter. And then you see the youth movement is way on here for Maclay as they flip. It looks like their entire personnel as they finally get the D-line flipped over here. Butler going to go on the bootleg. Looking for the second level. Oh, did Bryant stick the foot? Oh, they say he slid out of bounds.
That was close.
Fantastic effort by Jamin Bryant, the senior. Tried for that, the old toe drag swag there, Trent. But if the field was 54 yards wide, he has that one. But be incomplete pass, about 3rd and 13 here for DRS. A couple new players in. Caden Harrell, the sophomore defensive end. He's going to be on that left-hand side for Maclay. Also on that right-hand side, I believe it's Will Thompson, the freshman. Number 64, slide through. Great tackle over on that far side. Hunter Shaheen, the junior with the wrap-up. And, of course, the depth getting some good looks here for Maclay. And they're going to play the fake here. Nobody back for the punt return. Going to keep the defensive unit on the field.
Mr. Butler with a long snap again.
We got Ben Thompson and Ford Brown back here, the deep men for Maclay in that safety position. But it doesn't look like they're going to entertain the run back. Here's Tilford, chips this one out of the rough, takes a Maclay bounce, and then a couple FAMU DRS rolls. Picked up 32-yard line. And so just about a 30-yard change of field position there as we dip under 3 minutes to play here in our ball game.
I was going to say presumably the last drive of the night, but the way the Maclay scored the ball tonight, you really can't tell, even with these backups in here.
True. 11th offensive possession here for the Marauders. And it looks like we're staying with the same line. We have Berenson out there. We have Fiore out there still. A lot of these same dudes. Although we have Kareem Daywood out there now on that left-hand side, the offensive line. Number 59, you can see there. But you lock down that right-hand side there. Fiore has been getting some good minutes. And then Ariso still in. So, of course, offensive line, got to keep giving them the reps. Another new running back, freshman Dave Brown, number 33. 5'9" freshman, going to come in for the Marauders here. And we have a final from Wakulla. They hold on 21-14 over St. John Paul II.
Ooh. Maclay with that matchup. Was it next week against St. John Paul II, Jude? It's either next week or the week after. It's coming up soon.
Yep. Next week, headed down to the southeast side of town. Under a minute to play here. Bashir's and the boys. Handoff stretching out to the left-hand side, try to get over the 30 back to the original line of scrimmage. Is that Ariso? Or sorry, Kareem Daywood, the senior offensive lineman, able to give him the rush. Usually you got to go over to coach and convince him about that one.
He was hyped after, so you almost think that he did. I love that.
The sideline was hyped after that one, too.
Oh, they're still hyped right now. He just got back over there. They're celebrating.
You love to see it. Love to see it.
Maybe one last play here. Clock's down at about 15 seconds, ticking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll even call it.
So, of course, don't need to run it here as Bashir's just looking over to the sideline. And that's your final whistle. Here, 70 to count for Maclay as they win the first district contest here of District 1, Class 1A. So here, any final thoughts here with the game in the books, Trent?
I'm just loving, the total team effort from head to toe, special teams, offense, defense, everybody getting involved, a lot of underclassmen making some plays here in a big game like this. So I think it just really bodes well for the program. As you said, first district game of the season. They've got a big one next week against JP2, man, and they just played a really good Wakulla team. That, it was one-score game there. So, yeah, I think that this is some very positive momentum going into that second district game of the season.
Yeah, and I think if you ask most, that will be kind of the de facto championship. I think you look at it, first couple games in, you looked at Maclay, you looked at St. John Paul II, you said winner of that game probably going to take the district. Of course, a lot still to be decided, but those are your front runners. Those will be a fun matchup down in Southwood next week. So, of course, just a quick recap. Bashir's, Brannon, Grant, Richardson, Podgorski, Richardson, Stewart, Popple, Thomas, Papuchis. Your scores here for the Maclay Marauders. 10 touchdowns, 9 different players involved. Man. Wild ride, but a explosive offensive effort here for the Maclay Marauders. Coming through here, 72-0 the final count. So Andrew Juke and Trenton Young, thank you for coming aboard here for the Four Quarters online presentation of Maclay Marauder football. Thank you for coming aboard, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks. Back on the 18th, we'll see you for the Battle of Meridian Road. NFC going to come across here to Maclay. We'll catch you then. Have a great rest of your weekend.